Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the Standards Weekly Check-In. I'm Colin. Behind the camera we got Dylan.
What's up?
Today we're going to be going through some new arrivals, some recently priced records, getting into our staff picks, and some YouTube questions answered towards the end. As always, if you see anything you like, you can hit the DMs on Instagram, give the shop a ring, or just cruise by. We're open 11 to 8, 7 days a week. Without further ado, let's do some staff picks. I'll lead this time. This is a big deal. New release from a local band who I've been a big fan of for a while. One of my favorite locals. New Skeletal Faces. Great. This is just a single, little teaser, little taste, but it feels complete. Like the songs are kind of big enough that 2 songs is kind of like makes you feel like you had more of a meal than a snack, if you will. Great example of a group who can kind of be rooted in a specific genre, like 80s death rock, obviously in this case, but not be so focused on it that it just becomes like color by numbers, like, oh, here's this part, here's that part. They incorporate enough like anarcho-punk elements or like metal elements where they've always been like adjacent genres, and I think a lot of the problem with kind of more retro groups is just like super focused on this one thing. But yeah, they're a great group, and everything they put out so far has been awesome, and very stoked to have a new single from a local band. Good stuff. New Skeletal Faces. Great. Also some newer releases here. This is, I think, the first time this album from the Lions has been on vinyl. I want to say they're an LA group. No, it's kind of like, trust me, I know when someone recommends like reggae that was made in Southern California this century, that it's just like, I don't know if I have a beach cruiser big enough to handle that one. But no, this is a really good one. Lions have their credentials in check, and I think it's hey, like I was saying about New Skeletal Faces, like they're grounded in roots reggae, but there's a lot of like soul and funk elements. Not that that's not present in roots reggae, but it's like a lot more, I think, soulful than your average revival group. Anywho, this is an older album anyways. It's from like 2008, I think, if I'm not crazy. But really good record if you like some reggae sounds rooted in the classics. And also kind of a throwback. This is more of like house and acid, and I don't know a whole lot about that music. I don't pretend to be an expert in it. I just know that when it's good, I like it. And this is some really good just throwback house stuff, like Trax Records kind of style, but really nice. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Curtis with 2 S's. It's on Spotify. Jam it. You'll probably dig it. And if you do, we got the record. And then who is this group? This is your pick, right?
KISS, I think they're called.
No, they're called Alive.
Oh, Alive.
Dumbass.
Sorry, I'm sorry. This band's called Alive. This is Kiss Alive. What was it? The first 4 records?
Jeez, this is so beat. This is like the condition every Kiss record should be in.
I know.
It's great. Vinyl's clean, by the way. I'm not a fucking maniac.
Yeah, no, I listened to it like a bunch of times today. Still just great. Like, I don't know. I've been listening to Kiss all week.
Same?
Yeah.
No, I'm on the Kiss train all the way. I've been getting deeper into them as well.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because this is such like the entry level. This is like the starter record, right?
I believe so. Could get into that one, yeah.
This is like after like spending days listening to nothing but like The Elder and like Creatures and shit like that straight, going back to the classics and the staples and like the foundation of the catalog with Alive is a good time. So yeah, it's always nice to revisit it. Why am I willing to put so much effort into getting into Kiss? Like getting deeper into Kiss. I don't do that shit with Aerosmith. I like Aerosmith a lot, but I like, the first 4 records, and then they kind of get a little too commercial for me, and then I stop listening to Aerosmith. I'm not listening to like, oh, you gotta listen to this album from '86. There's like 1 song on it that's good. I don't know anything about like, oh, well, this guy didn't really play the bass on it. This album, it was this guy. Like, why? They're comparable musically,
yeah.
But why am I willing to put this effort into Kiss that I wouldn't put into a Blue Oyster Cult or any of that? Like, there's so much suffering involved in like being a Kiss fan,
Yeah, because in Kiss there's like a lot of lore, a lot of like not hearsays, but a lot of like. So in Mass, it's not really Peter Criss.
Yeah, but I mean, there would be. I'm sure there's factoids like that in other groups.
Yeah, I know,
you just
but
don't
I think
care
with Kiss, it's so like don't know. There's like a mystique maybe to it.
I mean, they are literally comic book characters. So you turn yourself into that.
Exactly. Anyway, Kiss Alive is my pick. I'm glad we had more talks about Kiss.
Yeah.
Welcome to our pod Kiss.
Another Kiss cast?
Kiss cast.
Another KISSTOry lesson?
Yeah, there's another KISSTOry lesson from your historian, Colin Tappert.
Kiss standards.
Kiss standards.
Let's get into the flip through. We watched the Sparkstock last week, as promised. It was a great. It was. That's a perfect music documentary, though, right?
Yeah, it's a great one.
But I don't know. Does a documentary need to be on a subject you even care about to be good? It could just be good in its own right, right?
I mean, it'll help the viewing if you're like, if you care.
Right.
But if you're going in blind, which I've done before, it's kind of like, oh, you learned something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it's told, you know, the way that the film technique or whatever.
Yeah. And I can't recall any other movie that's done this. Every album is being discussed for at least a minute. Yeah, there's like 5 albums I've heard.
Yeah.
Going in, I was like, oh, there's 25. And I was like, oh, Jesus. I was hoping for more explanations on some other songs, but you know what I got? It's still great. You can't talk about everything, I get that.
As we were talking about last week, you know, like we watch a lot of music documentaries. There's a formula to a lot of it, you know, like just, and that's when the bad thing happened. Boom. And then like cut to guy just like, I couldn't believe it after that bad thing happened. It really, but no, they didn't try to do that with that Sparks movie. It was all like, no one was like, had a bad like drug problem.
Yeah.
I don't think any like wives or children. Yeah, it's like, and I guess, you know, they're brothers, so like, you know, they're not gonna. What are they gonna do? Break up. And then it was also like they never really made money, I don't think, or like not significant enough to like fight over publishing or anything like that. So it was just so nice to see like something that didn't pander to like melodrama. It was really informative. It didn't look cheap.
Yeah.
And it was just like, one of the best music docs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
YouTube comments. This is slowly becoming my favorite part of the program here. Reading Bo Tiger says, the Decline movies he's speaking of, we've had a good old music doc talk last week, which I guess kind of bled into this week and also bled in. We got this giving some love to the Decline movies, says it's some of the best documentaries ever. Use a soundtrack for the first one. Hey, who doesn't? Good time capsule. Yeah, you know, little personal lore here. When I was like getting into punk music in like, you know, when I was in middle school or something, my mom was like, oh, you like this stuff? All right. And she went to Loose Records. Back when you had to give a $50 deposit to like rent a VHS tape, and she rented me Decline of Western Civilization. It was like, I still think that's such a perfect introduction. Like that's how do you top that in terms of like, oh, you want to know about this music? Here you go. And I don't know if it's the same for people who aren't from like, you know, Southern California or whatever, but like, man, shit like that movie like opened worlds for me as much as like any like great album or anything like that. So yeah, salute always to Decline. You're a fan, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And the homie Dan Beer, always a pleasure. Also getting into some movie talk. He brings up that movie Dig, which is like got into, was it Brian Jonestown Massacre and the Dandy Warhol. You ever see that one?
No, I never saw that.
It's pretty good. I think it was like, I think IFC would play a lot in cable days. But yeah, I agree 100%. I'm not even I don't think I like those groups musically, but that's what I was going to saying earlier. It's if you have a good story, you know, if you have a good presentation, you don't need to be like all in or a super fan. A good movie could just be a good music doc kind of stands on its own, even if you're not a fan. And that's a testament to that. All right, and then hey, listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You think I'm too good to read someone saying something nice about me on the internet? You're fucking crazy. And the homie Vicious says he found us when he's visited Belching Beaver, and he's happy I did. So that's a good time. All right, good to hear that. All right, and the legend D Void chiming in. He says, let's have a battle of worst cover song of all time. He says Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal. Brings up Tori Amos, Rain and Blood, Dope, Rebel Yell. All fine answers, but let me tell you, I don't think there's one song that's worse, but the genre of cover songs that's the worst is like down-tempo, like really slowed down versions of popular songs with like ladies whisper singing over them. And it's only in trailers. I don't know of this genre to exist anywhere autonomous of that. But like, I feel like 1 in every 5 trailers is just like, take out the papers and the trash. Always has to have that drop.
Yeah.
The worst of all is the most offensive to me, and I'll just throw this out there as the worst one, because if you have to pick one, there's a cover of one of the newer Terminator movies. I was out before I saw a moment of film because they used like this down tempo slow for chopped and screwed cover of Bjork's The Hunter, which is insulting on so many levels. I am the hunter. A double-edged sword though, because it does get you in the mood to like you do you have to do the exaggerated versions,
Yeah.
Find silly songs that shouldn't ever be done like that, and then you start doing them. Then you have like 5 minutes of good ha-has.
You got an example?
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
I'm on a highway to hell.
Any way you want it, that's the way.
Yeah, what? There's like no like context.
No, you're just watching a movie. It's like,
Yeah.
this is our town. We've always had this town. This town has always existed.
I like this is a whole different thing. But I can't wait for that I'm on a new level song. All these action films keep using I'm on a new level.
Yeah.
I don't know what song that is anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for in like 10 years from now where they slow that song
I'm
up.
on a new level.
Yeah, it's like, whoa. I can't wait for that. Billie Eilish is covering that song. That'd be so sick.
It's like in the like Billie Eilish type beat.
Yeah.
I don't know if A-listers are doing this. It's always like you look up who's actually covering it. It's just like Olivia Monroe, Emily Richardson.
Yeah.
I'll sound like travel agents or like real estate agents.
I will say
their number one like 11,000 plays on Spotify.
the guy's name is D Void.
Yeah.
I will say I do not agree with the Alien Ant Farm
Yeah.
cover. That's a badass cover, dude. You ever watch that music video? They're in a wrestling ring and then they're like dancing on the thing and that little kid's dancing on the sidewalk.
It was like that little kid dancing.
Yeah. And
that was a thing for a while, right? Missy Elliott had to do that too.
I think.
By force.
Yeah.
Like by law.
Oh, like having little kids dance?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was a good trend.
You had Allison Mashaka from the Disney shows dancing.
Missy Elliott did?
Yeah. That's all I know about it.
Good factoid.
I think.
And lastly, we got a question asking about Yacht Rock. Mr. JD's Deep Cut Sunday track says he was at a party playing had some Burzum playing, and he turned it off and put on some Yacht Rock, and everyone's having a good time. And let me tell you, always in favor of turning off Burzum in just about any context. But yeah, you know what? I could talk Yacht Rock once I figure out what it is, because I don't know the difference between Yacht Rock, AOR, soft rock. There's such a real specific sound, and I'm gonna figure it out one day, and then I'm just gonna only listen to that forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I always hear that like Steely Dan's Yacht Rock. I don't know if that counts. I don't know.
Well, I think Doobies and Michael McDonald are like the kind of one. And when I think Michael McDonald has some stunning backup harmonies on some Dan tracks, so I think they got the shrapnel. There's one of my favorite like millennial YouTube comedy series. It was this Yacht Rock series, like a mockumentary on like yacht rock groups. One of the funniest ones you'll ever see is they did when Ted Templeman, who produced all the Doobie Brothers stuff, like he starts producing Van Halen behind their backs, and they're all upset because he's turning his back on smooth music, so he has to do it in a clandestine way. This is the kind of, like, if you ever want to make me laugh, make some good like Ted Templeman references. Yeah, I don't know if I've told this story on camera before, but I do know that I was officially ready to get into yacht rock, or like AOR adjacent, however you want to call it. I was at Sprouts, and I hear the song on the overhead, and I was like, I'm loving this solo. Like, what is this? So it's like a great, like, not like shreddy guitar solo, but just like a good solo, And I'm like, who is this? And it turns out it was Lionel Richie, Running with the Night, which I didn't know. And I was like, I'm a Lionel Richie fan? God damn it. Like, I don't know. I'm getting up there in years, but I didn't know I was like Lionel Richie old. But and I did listen to the rest of the album. It's not very good, but that track is amazing. And it's got the guitar player Toto playing a track on it. And if you want to see a great music video, look up Running with the Night by Lionel Richie. And that's I think my A to Z on Yacht Rock, personally. All right, and that sums up all the YouTube comments today. If you want to see anything addressed on the big show, leave a comment in the section down below, and we'll get back to you. Thanks for everyone for watching. Later. Boom.